can you elaborate more on subcontracting your work? Most software engineering jobs I've had have provided a work laptop, so it seems difficult to pull off having a subcontractor. Um, yeah, so what I'm doing is I'm giving the jobs out to close friends that are obviously colleagues. They're in the same field that I do. So I'm kind of in the phase of doing business where it's all like high trust, where we all trust each other. I trust them, so I have no problem giving them, giving them my work laptop and having them do the job, giving them access to the VDI so that they can do the jobs for me. Right, but like I said, this is something that I'm doing, and this is something that if you're going to do it, requires some planning. It requires some thinking. It's not just like, oh, I'm just going to subcontract my work. You see a lot of like bravado online of people like just posting stuff, right? Like oh, I automated my job. Oh, I subcontracted all my work to India. It's like, well, how long is like. Yeah, okay. How long is that going to? And no, I'm not knocking India or anything of the sorts. It's the fact that it's like, well, it's people half across the world. You don't really know them. I like keeping things like Lindy. I like keeping things. What's the word? Like artisanal. Like I like to keep things local, right? And so I started out subcontracting work to my friends, right? So there's people I trust, my utmost trust. So I don't have that issue, right? But I see your point. Yeah. It's like, how are you going to do that? Like, well, unless you have a system, right? Like where you have these people vetted, and they're gonna be able to work with the laptop, and they're not gonna run off with it, right? It's kind of the dilemma that employers have, right? Like, do we trust our employees? Do we don't? Do we send them laptops? Do we not? Like at that point, you're thinking like an employer. I'm sorry, I said employees before. I said I meant employers, right? So maybe try out if you want to go the subcontracting route. Try out first with some of your friends, some people you trust, and then because once you start once you start venturing outside of people you trust, it's like, how are you going to vet them? You got to be on top of the people. It's kind of like you become a manager, right? Like your stress is now like, are you doing the work, right? So yeah, just keep that in mind.